I will explain in detail the procedures, precautions, and pros and cons related to the process of obtaining an E-7 visa for foreigners who wish to work in Korea. 1. What is an E-7 visa? An E-7 visa is a visa required for foreigners to perform specific jobs or skills in Korea. It is mainly issued to foreigners performing professional jobs. For example, you can work in various fields such as IT, engineering, education, and medicine. 2. Procedures for obtaining an E-7 visa. To obtain an E-7 visa, you must follow the following procedures. 1. Signing an employment contract. First, you must sign an employment contract with a Korean employer. Since an E-7 visa is based on a contract with an employer, the visa is applied for when the employer hires a foreigner. 2. Employer's application for an E-7 visa. Employers must apply for an E-7 visa through the Ministry of Employment and Labor or the Immigration Office. At this time, the employer must prove that the foreign worker is qualified for the job. For example, you must submit relevant degrees, work experience, or qualifications. 3. Submitting a visa application. Foreign workers prepare a visa application form, along with the documents submitted by their employer and submit it to the Immigration Office. The application form must contain basic personal information and the necessary documents e.g., passport, employment contract, etc. 4. Review and approval. The Immigration Office reviews the submitted documents and decides whether to issue an E-7 visa. This process usually takes several weeks, and if approved, an E-7 visa is issued. 5. Entry after visa issuance. Once the visa is issued, the foreign worker can enter Korea and begin working. 3. Key qualifications for E-7 visa issuance. There are several requirements that must be met in order to apply for an E-7 visa. The main requirements are as follows. 1. Education and experience. Degree requirement. Generally, a bachelor's degree or higher in a related field is required. Some occupations may place greater emphasis on related experience. Experience requirement. Generally, 2 to 3 years or more of related job experience is required. For example, in the engineering field, experience in the relevant field is important. 2. Job consistency. The applicant must have a job that meets the requirements of the E-7 visa. For example, if you want to work in the IT field, you may need to have relevant skills or qualifications. 3. Employer requirements. The employer must be a registered company and be eligible to hire foreign workers. The employer must have legally compliant working conditions, including payment of labor costs, and be able to pay the foreign worker a reasonable salary. 4. Pros and cons of the E-7 visa. Pros. Ability to work in a specialized field. The E-7 visa allows you to work as a specialized worker in a specific field. You can build your career in a variety of fields, including IT, engineering, medicine, and education. Long-term stay possible. The E-7 visa can be extended for up to 5 years, providing the opportunity to live and work in Korea for a long period of time. Family accompanying. E-7 visa holders can bring their spouse and minor children, and the spouse can stay in Korea with an F3 visa. Expanding employment opportunities in Korea. Since the E-7 visa allows legal work in Korea, you can be provided with a stable work environment during the period of employment. Disadvantages. Only work-related jobs are allowed. Since the E-7 visa only allows work in the designated job, it may be difficult to change jobs or work in other fields. Strict visa extension requirements. It may be difficult to change employers when extending the visa, and the evaluation is based on the period of employment at the previous workplace. In addition, the preparation and examination of documents for extension may be difficult. Salary requirements and taxes. Employers must pay an appropriate salary to E-7 visa holders, and this amount must meet the legal standards according to the Minimum Wage Act. There are also obligations such as tax payment, visa issuance waiting time. It may take a certain amount of time to issue an E-7 visa. During this period, there may be delays due to reasons such as visa issuance or document preparation. Korean language skills required. Some jobs may require Korean language skills, and Korean language skills may be important, especially in fields where communication with customers in Korea is important. 5. Things to note. Check the employment contract. It is important to carefully check the employment contract and working conditions before applying for an E-7 visa. Important matters such as salary, working hours, and benefits should be specified. Korean language skills. Some jobs require Korean language skills, so it is recommended to prepare Korean language skills in advance. Visa extension. When extending an E-7 visa, you must check whether the visa conditions are met, and in particular, the consistency of the working conditions, and the job is an important factor. Employer stability. The employer must be a formally registered company and must be qualified to hire foreign workers. Conclusion. The E-7 visa is a very useful visa for foreigners who want to work in a specialized occupation in Korea. However, obtaining this visa requires cooperation with the employer and must meet the qualification requirements related to the job. In addition, there may be certain difficulties in the process of visa extension or job change, so it is important to collect and prepare sufficient information in advance.